on the history of Nigeria, the one you do in the daytime.
Yeah.
You know, I really appreciate you. Unfortunately, we don't have as many people as we have in the evening. We don't have them.
I know, and we don't want to do that during our prime time. People really want to know what is really happening.
You know, I don't know. It's just a suggestion. I was just thinking because I think maybe in the evening time, because you already have that pool for the evening. I think maybe one chapter every now and again, because I don't think people are actually listening to that one as it should be. Because Baba, you see that book you are reading, You see that book you are reading. It's unfortunate that book is supposed to be a part of the curriculum of the Nigerian educational system. Everybody in Nigeria,
it is so detailed. If you take your time to actually read it, Papa.
You know, when you read up to the place of, you know, what the primitive expectation of the Benin Empire, when you read that place and the detail, the way the author described it, I mean, he didn't really, you know, give the nitty-gritty, but at least he did a good job.
That I really like, exactly.
And I was so impressed because I heard stories too. I heard, you know, histories from my parents, and it wasn't far from what.
Okay.
So, you know, like, and obviously I understand a bit of the history. Yes. So, but reading that book and trying to join everything together, because
exactly, it will refresh your mind so well that you will remember some certain other things. Yeah. And it just makes everything come together like that. Like,
do you know what I mean? And not just that, because that book, in the beginning of that book, towards the middle, towards the ending, it spoke about the history of all the individual ethnic groups of Nigeria. Yes. So it's not just about the Hausa, it's not just about the Igbo, it's not just about the Yoruba, it's not just about the Middle Belt and the South. It's about everybody, and how the West. Because a lot of people keep saying, oh, the West, they have nothing to do. Blah, blah, blah. Baba, this current arrangement that we are existing in right now is a machination of the West.
Creation.
They created it, and even up until today, everything that like the way the whole thing is playing out is exactly what they proposed and how they.
Absolutely. I used to say, Martinelli, I used to say, let us just stop blaming this British and let us talk to ourselves. I think I'm going to stop saying that now because I know better now.
Baba, you know, Baba, like for me, I served in the army. And when I was in the army, there were a lot of things because, you know, like the system of military system in Nigeria is exact carbon copy of the British military system.
Really?
But there's a few, it's the same thing. The rank, everything. Now, so it be same. Is like they literally transported it, but they left out some things. There were some things that they left out. There were some trainings that they left out. And I noticed this when I was in the army, and I'm like, but this thing is not right. Why? Baba, everything, the way Nigeria is, the army, the police, the navy, is a failure by design. It's a failure by design. Nigeria can never, ever, ever work. It can never work. And until the people who live in that contraption or who identify with that contraption, until they realize that there's no way forward. No. We just have to come to that realization that this is not going to work. We have to sit down as a people. We need to discuss. It's going to be very difficult. It's going to be very hard. We're going to argue. We're going to fight each other. But there's no need. We don't have to kill ourselves. We actually don't, because there's enough for all. Every region has enough resources to prosper. Everybody.
That's right.
Every region, whether it be manpower, natural resources, economical resources, everything. We have the resources to prosper individually. And then when you prosper individually, then you cannot start talk about how you want to collaborate with your neighbors. And then, you know, with that collaboration, then you can now start talking about how you want to, you know, conquer international borders or international ground. But without that conversation, without that, you know, that agreement, we can never function.
No.
This current arrangement is a design that the imperialists put in place to benefit them, and a selected few, a few that they have chosen, the chosen ones.
Yes.
To benefit them at the detriment of the large multitude. And until the general population realizes that, Baba, There's no way
we are in for a very long, rough
We are
ride.
in for a big ride. You know, just a little side distraction. You know, I mean, we're talking about your personal music artist who disappointed you and is supporting APC.
It didn't disappoint me. I just thought that people should be a little bit more careful throwing away goodwills that they have gathered for years just for APC or defense of APC. Like
if somebody like you, like because now technically you are my leader. If my leader can lose a close follower, a close relative to APC, who am I? I'm sort of hopeless.
Baba, I walk my talk. God help me. I walk my talk.
I am hopeless.
I am telling you, when I tell you to cut them off.
That song. I love that song so much.
I know. We just have to come up with something. And it's actually a song, all right? You know, technically, right? I own the whole thing about it. Okay.
I know, but it's just.
But every now and then, I mean, I have to, you know me now. You know, I know too they keep something away. Okay. Sometimes I feel like I should learn to keep some stuff to myself, but I am not like that. I speak the way I feel, all right? And I do my best to keep the rest to myself. But something is that when I need to give an example of how far I can go or cut people off based on their beliefs or ideas and all of that. You see, I am somebody who doesn't impose. See, if I tell you this is who I am, that means you know who I am. Now, if I know who you are, if I know we don't have anything in common, there's no point in pretending to say, oh, but we are just friends, but different ideals. No, I don't deal with people who don't have my ideal. And you're meant to show it, right?
Which is what
there's no point in, you know, we are not going to last. And every now and then I'm going to suspect you. And I don't want to suspect. But you know what they say in Yoruba now? One Bari.
Yeah.
Kama furasi.
Yeah.
Enitaba furasi nko.
Yeah.
Kama bari.
Yoruba
sobe. It's an easy word, Baba. If I suspect you, Martinelli, the ideal thing is for me not to relate with you.
Baba, you know, talking about suspicion, how are we going to defeat these people if you can't even trust somebody? I mean, if you can't trust your next man, the next person that we're fighting together. I mean, look at this Sunday.
You will find your own.
And Martinelli, you are coming out saying we should
Martinelli. We will find our own like minds. You found me.
I found you, Baba. I found you, but
do you know how many others you found since you found me?
Now see people.
No, I'm saying now, Martinelli, you know how many people you have also found, like-minded people, after you found me?
A lot. African Wahala, one director.
It is as if when you lose one, you gain 10. When you lose one of those treacherous snakes, you gain 10 here. It's as simple as that. You're always going to be in a community of people of like minds. You're going to feel comfortable. You're going to hear your view. They're going to hear theirs. You're going to have so many things in common. Then you're going to feel comfortable like you are right now. One day, you are going to physically see people like you that will gather in their thousands.
We will.
And you will see your brothers and sisters there. They will be your brothers. They will be your sisters. That's how I see it, Baba.
True, Baba. Until then, though, we just...
Until then, we have to keep holding fast. Steadfast.
Baba, please, don't off the mic. If anything, keep it.
Thank you.
Keep it down, Baba, because...
That is my belly.
I just keep thinking one day, like, I know it will have to be a nightmare to just wake up one day and Mayegun is either tired of talking or something happens, or Mayegun just say, you know what?
I know. I
fear.
I dread that day too, because Martinelli. Martinelli. You know why I dread it too? That one day. No, wait. You know, say Martinelli. One day, this microphone, will be seated here waiting for me, and I won't come. I dread it too. That will be the time I'm dead. You get that? So what that means is that until then, Tony Resi by then.
I just hope that they don't come.
No. Because you put $1 $1. It will
not happen, because with the likes of that Olori Buruku PSG, only son, with the like of those outside,
everywhere.
The people are hopeless, because imagine a PSG holder coming out and chatting so much shit, and look at the person that was even tackling him. I'm pretty sure that guy doesn't even have a BSc. And look at the way he was articulating himself, and he was able to analyze. He was able to analyze his stupidity and his foolishness. And you know, he couldn't say anything. They are asking you what they are Tinubu done. You are talking about primary schools to Germany. Are you mad? Are you mad? Mayego, please, can you please play them what Tinubu says is going to do to their economy? That video.
Which one does we have to? Okay, I'll look for it.
I was going to tell you that that video.
And I'll look for it.
Can help me to be playing that video at least once a day. I would really appreciate that.
I will look
so
for
that they can know what Koluse is going to do for them. Please.
This is one of them.
Thank you
for those who might have forgotten how Kolu
because Nigeria,
some of these guys.
They have forgotten.
This is how he convinced the PhD holders, home and abroad, that they should vote for him.
They have forgotten. So please help me to remind.
I'll leave this one now.
The transmission line is a super highway. For generated electricity and power. They could not even make a down payment for a roasted corn. The transmission line.
There are actually many. Here is another one. How Tinubu convinced PhD holders home and abroad that is a smart guy. This one.
If we lend ourselves to innovation, we can create wonders. It's a successful again, a town hall, different from blue, Bulaba.
Blue. There are more. I found your video, Martinelli. I'm going to put it up. Here is also another one where Kolu was telling them how it was going, how Kolu convinced supposed educated PhD holders, home and abroad. I won't weary.
All classes. You know what they call F level? When you get failure in all the subjects that you take. F9, F8, F9, F8, FF, double F. That is his name.
That's how he convinced the PhD holders, home and abroad, that he called you. And since they were also teaching his children in the UK and in Germany, the basic definition of democracy, Oloribu PhD holder. Kolu is a pure disaster. A lot of them actually supported Kolu because of their tribal bigotry, while some of them supported him because they felt like they would be rewarded by him. I mean, they were looking forward to an appointment from the rogue. It's never going to be enough anyway. So, yeah. Now they are causing that nuisance. Our nuisance, Lori. Yeah. Here is the man. When he was talking at his own birthday, right? It's called the colloquium or colloquium. He was talking about the economy. We first slow down the economy. They don't slow the economy down.
If we reduce the purchasing power of the people, we can further slow down the economy. Let's widen the tax net. Those who are not paying now, if it is inclusive of Bola Tinubu, let the nets get bigger and we'll take in more taxes, and that is what we must do in the country.
So if anybody is now acting surprised, and this is now waiting till Tinubu promised us. What did he promise you? He's going to do 8 years. Amen. The only prayer be say, make the hunger no kill you, or wipe your family off, or wipe your family out before the end of that 8 years. I mean, I will pray for you and your family to survive the 8 years. So you don't threaten anybody anymore with, all these things anymore. At least I think we have actually cleared that part, right? Nobody should threaten anybody with Tifnumbu. It's going to be 8 years. You are going to cry for 8 years, Baba. Cry different from cry. Oh, there are some cries we say it be like that of a Egbere cry. Say, what happened? You say, what happened to you now? Why are you crying? I say, well, I'm sorry, And there are those who are going to be crying like, man, this country want to kill person. How did they expect us to survive? How did they expect me to fuel my car? When this petrol is so expensive. That kind of a cry, right? Hey, can you imagine? I used to spend just about 50,000. I'm sorry. I used to spend just about 15,000 naira to fuel my tank. Do you know how much I have been spending every week? How much? I've been spending 170,000 naira to fuel my car. You don't sound like somebody who is angry because they can no longer afford to fuel their car. You are just angry that you are spending too much. You don't say you don't get the money, you have the money. Man, I have the money. But what kind of a country is this, Mayegun? First world cost of living in a third world country, Mayegun. The last time I bought a ticket going to London, I mean, can you imagine? I had to pay 12 million naira for the. Let me that one. I had to pay 12 million naira for the first class. That used to be like 5 million. Mayegun, you see, cry, pass cry, yo. There are some of us that will cry, and our cry is actually not cry. It's called the comfortable people's lamentation. So it costs you 150,000 naira to fuel your car. When I see the fuel the car, now, what are we going to do? I shan't first serene. I mean, at least I still have to go out. You are spending 150,000. That means you're not really complaining. You're just right. So those of you who are saying to others, those of you who are saying to other people, they will cry for 8 years. Christ, past cry, yo. Now prayer will go pray for you to say, make you and your family survive that 8 years of Tifnumbu. Oshifeso, my brother, sir. How are you?
I'm doing good. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you, bro. How are you doing today anyway?
I'm doing well. Just rounding up work and then listening to you as always.
Right. Thanks for that super chat, by the way. And
you're very welcome.
You are the #1 fan of, a fatherless people. Something you are so passionate about that you wanted everybody to have a chance and listen to. And you have been right. It's such an, interesting piece of work. Baba?
Yeah, I was just going to touch based on what Martinelli said about the book. I think maybe after reading the book, maybe during prime time, you might want to do like a summary, because up until now, when I've read so much about Nigeria's history or watching documentaries on TV, it doesn't really go as much in detail as to what this book you're reading has done. So I know a lot of your audience don't really have time to, tune in at the time you're reading it in the morning, which is quite understandable. But a lot of the things going on today, like you read about the creation of Boko Haram, which of course Lugard did, and pushing religion on everyone, and everything that's going on today. Similarly, you can actually trace it back to the early creations of the country.
It's always been there from the onset.
Yeah, and so I actually reacted to one of the scholar that said he hates anyone that's proudly Nigerian. Just like you said, if we had the name Lugard, we'll be proud to call ourselves Lugardian. So
yes, now today somebody will tell you, I'm a proud Lugardian. You cannot break up this Lugard. You can't break up this country. We are all Lugardians. We are one. If they had named, if he chose to name Nigeria Lugard, like that what's that guy's name again? Rhodes.
That
guy,
yeah.
Road, right? The guy that named Zimbabwe Rhodesia.
Yeah.
After himself. Go on, Baba.
What do you think though? In the US, there is this subtle rivalry between African Americans and Nigerians or Africans, where we actually come here. Some of us, not all, we look down on African Americans, and there are quite a lot of African Americans who actually have been traveling to Africa and they see what's going on. And they make this reference to how we chose to flee this word called Japa. It's like what exactly it is that we have to do. It's quite easy to sit in the US or in the UK and talk much about Nigeria, while Nigerians probably don't really care, or they are quite unfortunate due to the media they actually consume. But it's just something I've been thinking about. It's like, what are we just sitting in the US, in the UK in our comfort zone, and we just talk and rant, or what sort of like impact can we have? Maybe like a Yoruba only. I'm just saying, though, not like I'm telling. Yeah, or yeah. So it's just of recent that
if I get you right, Baba, I know we have so much to really sort of channel our energy towards if we really want to make impact. Generally, there are so much, including programs or meet and greet and stuff that can actually really build a sort of a larger and bigger community that possibly answers so many questions that a lot of people have been, like looking for answers for. But Festus, you see, there's something I am currently trying to, in all honesty, right? I'm trying to get a grip of right now. Okay, one of them is that I would say this is my second month having to operate from a very, like a completely different territory, and I call it an office and studio. But inside here, Baba, there is still so much to be done before I can now reach that scale of giving us that variety that I've already promised, right? Varieties that address a lot of things. For example, we are reading this now. We said we could have a chance of bringing in people of different backgrounds, okay, where they can help further bolster or widen this, our scope of reaching out to people, widen it in a way that it addresses different demographics of audience, okay?
Yeah.
But I am having my limitation, and I have to be honest with you. I have been bled to thin. I have never really financially committed myself to things as I have done with this space.
You don't have to do it all. I mean, because you've already started something, and it might be left for us to pick things up.
Festus. I don't have to do everything right away. I agree. I do agree. But we are getting there too. Anyway, I'll leave you to it before we round up. Go on, Baba.
I was saying you've already started something, and it's left for us to more or less follow on your footsteps. And if you decide to bring on the book author on prime time, just to pick his brain, that'll be a lot more enlightening for your audience. Because some of us, the book really says a lot about the origin of the Igbo-Yoruba rivalry, which, by the way, it was created by John Igbo people.
That's right.
But it's a lot in the book is so explosive that you just can't wrap your head around the fact that they've taken the experience from colonizing other regions and then bringing that to the country.
Look at that revelation, Festus. Look at that revelation about Egba's independence. I have older people who are like seated there, like, I didn't remember that. Oh, I didn't. Some remember though, because there are people who actually really know and they are aware of all these things. Older guys and all that, right? But there are older people too who are like, I am from Egba and did not even know that we had independence before they finally. In fact, Egba people were the last to be amalgamated with the southern Nigeria. when they amalgamated the southern Nigeria, like they brought the Yorubas with the people of the east. The Egbas were still independent, remember? Until when they had to take it away from them in 1912, 1913. So as an Egba person who is from Egba, we just be like, I didn't know that. So there's so much to get to know, a lot. And they come so easy to understand as well from that book, Papa. It was a piece of, so you're right. We could bring the author down here when we get to some, when we get deeper towards the end of the book, I will extend an invitation, reach out and build that kind of appearance with him. And it will be an honor. I know.
Absolutely. Yeah, we here, we are trying our best to even educate our parents too, to stop their, tribal bigotry. Not all, but some of them. Thank you very much.
That we do that too. Thank you very much, Festus. Okay, you are a champion. Thank you so much. You have a good evening. Okay.
Have a good day.
Nice
Bye.
Sir. Yeah. So that's Festus Oshifeso, a regular in the in the comments where especially on YouTube. In fact, it's on YouTube. So I'm going to say thank you to every one of us tonight. Tomorrow, if you set your notification, you can still join us when we read this. A Fatherless People by Dele Ogun. Right? A Fatherless People. The secret story of how Nigerians missed the road to promised land. So we are taking on chapter 5 tomorrow. And it's going to start from 1:30, latest by 2 o'clock UK time, 8 a.m. American time or 9 a.m. American time. And you can join me, just listening. For the chat tonight, I want to say a big thank you to every one of you who has been part of it. And then we will continue from where we are stopping tonight, tomorrow. But before you leave, remember, please do drop your offering, like the broadcast, share it, and subscribe to my channel so that the next time when I'm on, you will be the first to know and join. Good night.
Mayegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò.
Mayegun Diary Nayibi #1.
Mayegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò.
Mayegun Diary Nayibi #1.
Mayegun ti dé o ọ̀rẹ́ ara yìí.
Mayegun Diary Nayibi #1.
Lórí Facebook, lórí YouTube.
Mayegun Diary Nayibi #1.
Gbogbo bó ṣe ń lọ ni Mayegun já wa sí.
Mayegun Diary Nayibi #1.
Àṣírí ọ̀jẹ̀lú kì í bò níbẹ̀ o.
Mayegun Diary Nayibi #1.
Bó bá ṣe eré àní Mayegun máa wí.
Mayegun Diary Nayibi #1.
Ó sì tún ṣe eré wàá gbọ́ níbẹ̀ o.
Mayegun Diary Nayibi #1.
Mayegun Diary politico.
Mayegun Diary Nayibi #1.
Godfatherism kò sí lọ́rọ̀ Mayegun.
Mayegun Diary Nayibi #1.
Ẹ farabalẹ̀ sẹ́ o kẹgọ́rọ̀ lẹ́nu o.
Mayegun Diary Nayibi #1.
Àní Mayegun làwa mọ̀ tó dòdòdò.
Mayegun Diary Nayibi #1.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé. Mayegun ti dé.
Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé.
Lórí Facebook.
Mayegun ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé.
lórí YouTube.
Máyégún ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn lájú.
Máyégún ti dé.
Bọ́ bàbá gbé wúrẹ́.
Máyégún máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn lájú.
Máyégún ti dé.
Ijó ìgbádìyẹ.
Máyégún máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn lájú.
Máyégún ti dé.
Bí pẹ̀sìdó bá rúfin o.
Máyégún máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn lájú.
Máyégún ti dé.
Bí gómìnà kówó jẹ.
Máyégún máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn lájú.
Máyégún ti dé.
Ọlọ́pàá tí ń darí bá.
Máyégún máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn lájú.
Máyégún ti dé.
Aṣòfin tí ń rúfin o.
Máyégún máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn lájú.
Máyégún ti dé.
Òpùrọ́ olóṣèlú.
Máyégún máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn lájú.
Máyégún ti dé.
Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Máyégún ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Máyégún ti dé.
Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran o.
Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran.
Wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀ o, Máyégún ó sọ pé wọ́n ò fẹ́ bẹ̀. Wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀, Máyégún ó sọ pé wọ́n ò fẹ́ bẹ̀. Oníkanṣá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, fáwọn ará ìlú tó gbé wọn débẹ̀ o. Àyè.
Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní má ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.
Ha! Kì máa yí ṣe eré, ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣe ẹ̀fẹ̀. Kì máa yí ṣe eré, ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣe ẹ̀fẹ̀. Ẹni bá ti lè lẹ́bọ̀ lẹ́rù o, ọmọ bá dèrò kàṣàyè tú wọn síta.
Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní má ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.
Tẹnitẹni ọmọ Máyégún ọ̀rẹ́ ara ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni mo fọlọ́hún ṣọ́ ẹ̀ bá kìlẹ́bù. Lóòótọ́ olódodo ìlú ọ̀tá ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni ìwọ ṣá máa ń ṣọ́ra kò sì mọ́ bẹ̀rù. Bọ́tà ń lè rí bóníṣègùn lé káwọn mọ̀mọ́ fi ṣera wọn ni ó ti dẹrùn tí wọn ò gbọ́dọ̀ sì mọ́ bẹ̀. Èèpo ọ̀bọ lọmọ bá dérò tàjẹ́ ò gbọ́dọ̀ jẹ́, ó ti dọba lórí àbínú ẹni kò sì mọ́ fòyà. Àìsíwọ́lu ní ẹnìkẹ́ ìgbódì ẹyin lábàrá o, ó kó ẹni tó bá dán o àkàmù. Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì o. Ẹni bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dèrò òní fi wọ́n níran o.
Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn